All right, folks, thank you for being here. It is time to get trading. I am Pepper. This is the Godly Trading Daily Trading Room. Let's dive into it. Today's topic, by the way, was brought to us. I feel like Sesame Street, brought to us by the letter E, was brought to us by someone who emailed me today and asked about day trading. Hey, I saw you the other day. You seemed like all you were doing was long-term swing trading. Do you do any day trading? Does any of your stuff apply to day trading? Well, here's the good news in that regard. Trading is trading. And the key to being a successful trader is having a plan and following it. By the way, for those of you who are interested, that is the main theme for next week's challenge. The importance of a plan and how to structure that plan. But once you've got it, yes, it is absolutely applicable to any time frame, any market. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Because today I took my first legitimate day trade in 5 years, 6 years. And I'll tell you why, and we'll get into all of that. By the way, drop me a comment, if you would, in the comments where you are joining us from. And as you do that, I'm going to go over today's verse of the day, which is actually verses of the day. So this comes from today's Proverbs of the day. Nope, don't like that. Can you still see that like that? Probably like that. There we go. So Proverbs, today's the 25th of February. I would highly recommend to everybody to read the Proverbs of the day before you trade for the day. Today's happens to be Proverbs 25 because today's February 25th. So I love this last bit here. And I hope you can see this. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger for you. There we go. Whoever has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls. Well, what in the world does that mean? What is in the ancient times? What's a defining characteristic of a city? It has walls around it for protection, but also so that it's set apart. If you don't have walls around your spirit, especially when it comes to trading, if you don't have walls around your time, if you don't have walls around your purpose, you're defenseless against your own greed, against your own anxieties, your own doubts. And you don't have a defining characteristic for who you are as a trader. But here is the brilliant news. As with everything in the Bible, there is truth. Galatians 5:16. All right, so questions, how do we have rule over our spirit? I say then, walk in the spirit and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. What is the lust of the flesh when it comes to trading? Revenge trading, over trading, taking your profits early, letting your losers run, all of those things. So you look at Galatians 5:16 and you apply it to trading, and you could say, Paul could say, I say then, trade in the spirit, and you will not fulfill the lust of the trading flesh. All of these things that your brain says to do. If you are prepared in the spirit every day as you step out into trading, it's a promise. You shall not. I love that promise. So let's dive into the trades of the day. And I'm going to show you the actual day trade that I took and why I took it, how I took it, and where I took it, those kinds of things. Let's get to the other things first. So let's go over to here and show you that on Frank, by the way, on my day chart, my daily chart trade, not to be confused with my day trades, my daily chart trading. The Kiwi trades that have been pulling us down have all turned around now. So you can somewhat. So you can see the Kiwi. I've had 4 trades here on Frank. Hang on. My prop firm account, which is this one. We had 3 trades closed today, 2 wins and a loss. So I'm still at a 76% win rate, even though I had a loss today. I had a loss and 2 wins. But you can see here that, hang on. That says US Tech. Pepper, did you trade the NQ, the NASDAQ? Just bear with me. I'll get there. Let's make this a little bit bigger here. And you can see that whereas before we were down like $100 and all these Kiwi trades were really bad. Now they've turned around. So because of this. So here's the Kiwi US, we turned around. Kiwi Swiss, it's turned around. Kiwi CAD it's turned around, and Euro Kiwi is turned around. Now, by rights, I shouldn't have been in this many Kiwi trades all at one time, but I was. Let's see what happened today. We had 3 trades close out. Euro Aussie, Pound Swiss, and Aussie CAD. Ooh, Euro Pound Swiss. Let's look at that one, because that one I got into yesterday. Pound Swiss. Got into it yesterday. And man, this is one of those situations where you think, hey, this strategy doesn't work. Look at this, right? So I set my stop right here. Sorry, stop order. I set the stop order right here. And this trade shouldn't have triggered. Well, this is one of the, I would highly recommend this. If you're going to trade Forex on the daily chart, Central Time, which is where I live, the market closes at 4. Wait until 5 to send your trade to the market, because from 4 to 5, the spread widens out. And that's all this is, right? This entry should not have happened but for that 1 hour spread widening. It widened far enough that it triggered me for a setup that should have expired worthless. Sorry, that's an option. For a setup that should have just expired. So something to consider is wait for you to send your pending order to the market when the spreads have calmed back down again. So that one was a loss, and then we had Aussie CAD that closed for a win. So this trade took us. Stop drawing on the screen there, Pepper. You're not a 2-year-old. This trade took us since February the 11th. So that was 14. So it took 2 weeks. Oh, fantastic. Zach passed your eval yesterday. Well, let's hang on. This is just fantastic. This is more important than Frank. Zach, if you've got time, if you're not driving, you're a Navy SEAL, right? You're in the Navy, so you don't care if you're driving or not. You work for the government. Where was your prop firm that you passed yesterday? I am excited to hear this. Even if you are driving, type it in anyway. I'm not in Seattle or wherever it is you are. That's just fantastic. I'm excited to hear that. Apex. Oh, we're going to be talking about Apex here in just a moment. That's just fantastic. Fantastic enough that I've lost my placement. Don't worry, y'all. Continue. Oh, it says Chris. Hang on, I'm on the wrong one. This is for my producer's not here with me today. He's in the next room over. So I've done something wrong here. It says Chris. My name's not Chris. My name is Pepper, but that's okay. Back to the charts here. Y'all feel free to continue to comment and derail me. If Johnny was here, he would point that out. No problem at all. So I had the Aussie CAD that was a win today. Swiss Yen was also a win today. Swiss Yen was a win the other day. What was the other one I had? Aussie CAD. Oh, Euro Aussie. Take a look at Euro Aussie. So this one was a win. Finally hit. This one we entered on the 9th of February. So this is what I love. Nice and slow and steady wins. Predictable, calm, not at all like what happened with me today. So we've looked at that real quick. I'll show you what Forest did or did not do today. Today was a stop out on Forest. You can see we had an uptrend. We got in right here on the pullback, and this pullback pulled back a little too far. Look, this is going to happen, right? This thing pulled back, and within this one little bit of a wick, I'm out, and it would have been a winning trade, but for the fact that I get out. Look, guys, this type of situation is going to come up. I need to be emphatic here. This type of situation is going to come up in your trading. You're going to look at your chart, and you're going to say, "Oh my goodness, I got stopped out by this much, and the trade went where I knew it would go. That means I shouldn't have a stop loss, or that means I should have a different or a wider." It doesn't matter where you put your stop loss. At some point, you're going to get triggered out of a trade by this much, and the trade keeps going. Just stick to your plan. If your plan works, if you've tested it and it has a positive return and you're happy with it, don't let this kind of a situation rattle you. It's just trading. It happens. Trading is our activity, not our identity. Just because you had a loss doesn't make you a loser. It's just a thing that happened to you. So, this one happened. All right. I'm going to show you all this. Aussie Yen had on our long trade here with this one's only 3 days. This is the Bob strategy. Euro Pound has finally turned around. Actually, no, Euro Pound is just lost all momentum whatsoever. They're like, yeah. Get to the NQ trade that you took. All right, here we go. for a CFD, which is contract for difference. Thought you Americans weren't allowed to trade that. Government reasons. It's a foreign prop firm account. Anyway, so my buddy Isaac, I've interviewed him on the podcast a couple of times, has a trading room that he puts on every morning at 6:30 Pacific time, which I believe is 8:30. Yeah, right at the open of the market. But you know what? I need to go check this out because I've got a lot of people who ask me about day trading. I am a recovering day trader, and I swore I'd never go back, but for the purposes of demonstration, for the purposes of testing and whatnot, I'm gonna go look at him out. Was there yesterday? Oh my goodness, yesterday. First things first. Hang on, before we go to what happened yesterday. If you are a Christian trader, Isaac's your guy. He starts every single morning trading session off with prayer, humblest prayers you can imagine, and just does the same thing I like to do, which is applying biblical risk management, biblical stewardship to his trades. Anyway, yesterday I show up and it's like, he's just so high energy and excited. And it's like, all right, we're going to do this thing. And they made their $600 trade in like 13 minutes. And it was fantastic. And I was just worn out watching them. So I thought, you know what, today I will play along today. I will put my money where my mouth is today. So here is what I did using his strategy, but this could have easily been Frank. For the person who asked me, do I ever deal with day trading? Does my system work with day trading? First things first, I don't have a system. I have some strategies. I have a portfolio, but the thing that I live and breathe is helping Christian traders develop their own systems, develop their own plans, and proving to them that that is the most critical stuff they can ever do. So I don't have a system. Isaac has a system. So today I'm just trading his system. He's got a plan. He's sticking to it. So this was the opening. Hang on, let me make this a little bit bigger for you. This was the opening candle on the 15-minute chart of the NQ, which is the NASDAQ. I'm sorry. It was NQ for, actually, he was trading. This is what I love. I'm going to say this sentence here, and it's going to confuse a few of you and please the dickens out of the rest of you. He was trading the NQ. Some people in the room were trading NQ on futures. He was trading the triple Qs with options. And I was trading NDX on a Forex platform, and we're all trading the exact same thing. Every single one of us trading the exact same chart, the exact same price movement, but three separate mechanisms. What's my point? Trading is trading. So this was the opening candle. He had his levels drawn. He said, all right, if it breaks out of here, hey, it's moving, it's breaking up. If it breaks out of here, it's going to hit this level. It's probably going to struggle. And that level, by the way, was right here. It's probably going to struggle. But if it clears that, it's probably going to hold it. It cleared it. It came down. It came down. It came down. And this is where his level was. This is also where this 9-period moving average was. All right, fine. I will set my entry. You can see where my entry was. Oh, hang on. Isaac, if you're watching, I just hit my second take profit on this thing. I cleared my entry right here, somewhere in the neighborhood of the 9-period moving average. Again, this is his strategy. I'm just trading his strategy with discipline, with just following the rules. That's all I'm doing. Oh, he said, if it comes down and hits this level and holds, it's probably going to. If it holds, that's our entry. So it came down and it held on. You can't see it because, my goodness, is this thing dim? I need to change my background to show you guys. But there's a wick that comes down to right about here. I hope you can see that. And there's a wick that comes down to right about here. So it held twice in a row, 2 15-minute candles. Okay, this is clearly the entry. Let me put my entry order here. Boom, I did. And I just left it. I had my stop down here where you can see it. And I set my stop based on reasons, right? They were trading other things, and everyone's setting their stop based on different things. A stop loss is the most important element in anybody's trading, because a stop loss is the real world physical representation of your risk management and your discipline. Those are the two key elements, the only two elements that matter when it comes to being a successful trader: risk management and discipline. I mean, risk management is discipline. right? And a stop loss is the actual representation of that. So I never trade without a stop. So, but well, how do you stop? This is why I don't like futures personally, but clearly I prove that futures are fantastic. Boy, is a stop loss a lifesaver. Yes. Okay. Quick story on stop loss. One of our members, Brad. I'm gonna mention you, Brad. Best story I've ever heard about a stop loss. He trades two things every day, two stocks. He has a primary and a backup. I want to say it's like Broadcom and Palantir. Two AI stocks. Maybe it's Nvidia and Broadcom. Those aren't anyway. Two stocks, right? But I mean, that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is he has these two stocks he trades. And the first one, he shows up every day, he's trading it. And it was at like, I think it was like 180. He got in at 185 and he had a stop loss at 180. And he comes back after his thing, after he's gone for a while, he comes back and it has hit his stop loss. And it was a several $1,000 loss. Now you think, oh my goodness, it was a whatever for his account, right? He was applying his own risk management. He comes back the next day and it was like 165. And he's like, that was the best $5,000 I ever lost, because that $5,000 stop loss saved me $20,000 over the course of the day. Yes, Zach, a stop loss is a lifesaver. Hey, guys, your stop loss is not there to protect your trade. I'll say that again. Your stop loss is not there to protect your trade. Your stop loss is there to protect your account. From what? From you. Anyway, so I picked the spot I thought the stop loss should go. The most critical aspect of a stop loss, I think, is to make it logical and objective and repeatable. Don't look at your chart and gut instinct the spot on the chart for your stop loss. And yes, stop losses goes at a spot. And here's the best way to do it. I'm the child of who was raised by two high school science teachers who taught me the scientific method since I was young enough to know what that was. And so I approach trading from that scientific method standpoint. Hey, I have a hypothesis. I think that NDX is going up. And so if I am right, where does price need to go to prove that I'm right? More importantly, if I'm wrong, where does price need to go to prove to me that I'm wrong? Because the last thing I want is my stop to get hit and I go, right? What you want is like what Brad had. Your stop to get hit and you go, oh, whew, man, am I glad I got stopped out? That's what you want. So pick some spot on the chart where if price hits your stop, it triggers the logical deduction. Oh, I was wrong about the direction of this trade. For instance, if you're going long and you're a trend trader, a trend by Webster's definition is a series of higher highs and higher lows. So if, price puts in a lower low, clearly you're not in an uptrend. So anyway, I picked a spot on my chart for a stop loss. Then when price got to halfway to I just took one position, to my first take profit, or to my take profit, I closed half the position and I moved my stop loss to break even, or slightly above break even, to cover fees. For me, break even is a smidge above my entry for a long, because I want to cover fees and commissions and whatnot. Why did I do that? Well, this is a day trade. I don't want a day trade to turn into a swing trade. Not its purpose. We're talking about purpose tonight in our members only live stream, our free Facebook group members only live stream. Anybody can join and you can be there. So anyway, the purpose of this is a day trade. Take some money off the table. More importantly, reduce your risk to less or none. By moving my stop loss to break even, I cannot lose on this trade. By and large, could things happen in Gapchel? Yes, but by and large, I can't lose on this trade. I have reduced my risk to zero. Why is that important? Now I let it run. I don't need to look at anything. I just let it go. And it did. And somewhere during the course of this conversation with you and I hit what was my actual exit. So this one day trade, I risked 0.5%, because those are the rules for this particular account. I risked 0.5%, and I made $461. So just a slightly under 0.5% profit. So $526 would have been 0.5%. So just slightly under that. And I'm over the moon with that. Now, what does it have to do with anything? The point here is that trading is trading. And I have not day traded in forever, but it didn't faze me. Now, a little tired after Isaac's session this morning, needed a nap after all the frenetic activity. I'm used to slow and steady, but it doesn't matter. Trading's trading. Trading is just having a plan. I didn't have a plan. Isaac had a plan, and I trusted Isaac, followed Isaac's plan, and applied my own risk management and my own discipline. And as a result, I got roughly 0.5% into that account, that prop firm account today. I mentioned earlier something along the lines of Isaac's trading room and how to find it. Where's my banner? Here, right? Boom. So if you would like more information on Isaac, and I have no affiliation with Isaac other than he's a brother in Christ, and I've had him on the podcast. If you would comment the word day trading here in the chat, or if you're watching the replay of this on the comments, I will send you the information on how to find Isaac and his day trading room. Like I said, he starts with Mark, I'm just gonna ask. He starts every, I don't know if it's every day, but it's 4 days out of the week, I think, at 6:30 Central, so 7:30 Mountain, 8:30 Central. I'm sorry. It was 8:30 Central. You do the math for your time zone. 8:30 Mississippi time. And it's a Zoom room, and he has some stuff on his chart, but it's a very simple thing. But his focus is, all right, guys, let's be patient. Let's be patient. Let's be patient. Let's be careful. Get in. Oh, this is where we should get out. Start scaling out this and this. Yesterday, I was in there, and it's like, all right, and it was just moving so fast. They got in, they got out. All right, everybody's out. Enough is enough. But there's one person who did not get out with everybody else. Don't know why. Maybe they were wanting to squeeze some more. Maybe they were in the bathroom. That's one thing about day trading. You can't leave your computer. Market opens at 9 a.m. Eastern. This was 8:30 my time. So that's right. His room opens up 10 minutes prior. And this person didn't get out with everybody else. And then the trade went against them. They were still in it. Discipline, right? You get in. Enough is enough. Tomorrow's YouTube short, Instagram reel is going to be about when is enough enough. And my point in showing you my day trade. Will I day trade again? Maybe. Today I was home, which is where I am now. I wasn't anywhere else because I hurt my ankle yesterday exercising. I was on the treadmill and did lifts on the same day. Anyway, so I was at my computer. I could do that. But my life is not geared towards day trading. So I'll probably do it again just because Isaac he smiles even when he's off camera. You can hear him smiling even when he's off camera. He's one of those guys. Oh, just love being around him. Anyway, trading is trading. The most important aspect to it. Find a way your trading fits your life. If you're interested, tonight in our Facebook group, which is just go to Facebook, search for Godly Trading Groups. You'll find us tonight in our Facebook group. I'm going to be talking about how to do that, how to pick your market options, forex, what day trading, swing trade, how to pick your market based on one simple verse from the Bible, and that drives everything else. And that is the most important, and then once you do that, right, then it's just have a plan. Doesn't matter what the plan is. Have a plan and trade it with discipline, knowing when enough is enough. I just love every day. I am convinced more and more that this right here is the world's best trading manual, and everything that I have ever learned that made me a better trader came out of here. And the ironic thing is that trading has brought me closer to Jesus every day. I mean, there's some days when I'm praying out of gratitude. There's some days where I'm praying out of panic, but I'm still praying. So with that, guys, I'm gonna let you all. Have I covered everything? We got Forrest. Oh, I haven't showed you about Forrest day trading. You don't need. the Forest daily chart swing trades are going slower than watching paint dry. We looked at Bob. Bob has nothing new. Looked at Frank. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do for you guys. Probably Friday morning, I will take Frank over to the NDX or the NQ, and I'll record a video that I'll show here of me trading the 5-minute chart using Frank to show that Frank can absolutely be done day trading the same way that everyone else, right? The NQ futures is NDX, CFDs is triple Qs on the New York Stock Exchange. It's all the same thing. I'll show you how Frank can be used to trade the weekly chart or the 5-minute chart. There's nothing special about Frank. What's special is you and your ability to follow this every day as you trade. So with that, guys, thank you for being here. I will see you all tomorrow or tonight.